Hi, welcome back to Broker Brains. I am Shana with Cascadian Northwest Real Estate.
I'm Andy Costello with Venture Commercial Real Estate.
Today, we were going to just kind of take a break from our real estate topics and talk about how we each got into real estate, because there's so many people that have real estate licenses, and it's just always an interesting story to find out, like, how did you choose that path?
Yes,
At least I find that interesting.
I do too, because this industry collects
Oh
so
my gosh,
many
you get
different
people
types.
that are like brand new. I've got a high schooler right now
Wow.
who is like, I'm in messaging with, because she's like, as soon as I graduate, I want to get my license. And, tell me what I'm supposed to do. What's the best school to go to? Like, she's just ready to hit the ground running. And then I've got, people that are in their 70s that are doing real estate that maybe aren't old timers in it. Like, that's, a retirement career.
Right.
I was in, community service for 40 years and retired and got my license. So there's just like this whole gamut of people.
Yeah.
I
Well,
find
tell
it
us
interesting.
how you got started.
I was about to make a joke, but I won't.
Well, you had a leg up, right?
I had a little bit of a
Yep.
leg up. So I grew up in New Orleans, and my mom and dad owned a brokerage. And so for me, I was 100% sure the one thing I never wanted to be was a realtor, because it's like what my parents do. So obviously that's kind of an old people boring job.
Right.
And so by default, though, I worked in their office, on weekends or on summers. And even my first job out of college, I was in their office. But I did a lot of different things. My dad, this was in the early 80s, mid 80s, and things were a lot different in our industry. So my dad was a broker and an appraiser.
Oh.
And he was able to appraise his own deals.
Oh, convenient.
And I think sometimes he was a lender, but that was like under the table. So it was quite an education. Yeah. And so I would type up his appraisals with carbon paper, 3-copy triplicate on the typewriter. I mean, it was a whole thing. Yeah. And so I fast forward, got my college degree, got out of that environment, and did a couple of other things, and circled back around, 10, 15 years later due to a health issue with my previous job. I was a court reporter. I had carpal tunnel. It's like, okay, so I'm going to have to do something else. And, just in talking with my husband, he said, well, what do you want to do? I'm like, I guess I'll get my real estate license. And he was like, are you kidding me? Because he and I had done probably 5 or 6 houses that we've done rentals and flips. And the whole time he had been like, get your license, we'll save on commissions. And I'm like, no way, I'm not doing it. So once we had hung up the hammer on any of that kind of work for years, I was like, oh, I think I'll get my license. He was not amused, but supportive. And so that's what I did. I just jumped in, jumped in with both feet and went full time right off the bat. I mean, I still worked my court reporting job a little bit on the side, but I was able to segue into it pretty seamlessly.
What do you think about the industry? What is it in the industry that kind of like pulled you back in?
It was I'm just going to say the real truth. It's a high paying job without having to go back to school for a master's degree. I didn't want to go back to school again.
Right.
I didn't want to incur any more student debt. I love what I do. I love real estate, but I've said this to you many times. The bar is way too low for entry. It's way too easy to get your license. And so it was easy.
Right.
It was easy to just jump right in and be able to, hit the ground running without having to invest a whole bunch of time and money into another education.
Yeah.
By this point, I've had 2 major educations that I'm just not ready to go back and do that again. But real estate was, made that part easy. And I had, some knowledge and insight into the industry. So I knew it wasn't easy. I knew being in real estate wasn't easy, but I knew getting the license would be really easy.
Yeah. Yeah. And then what do you think about the profession got you into wanting to own your own brokerage?
I started out at Berkshire Hathaway, where I had a really great experience, and I had a really great broker and learned a lot, and kind of felt like I had evolved a little bit, because they're the best when it comes to providing a lot of agent support. And I'm kind of, me, I'm like, I don't need your help. I can do it myself. And so I was kind of wanting to do my own thing a little bit more, yet I'm still, which was fine. Go do it, but I'm still paying for a full service kind of package that I didn't really need anymore. And so started exploring, like, what are the other options to where I don't have to pay so much and I don't get so much too. I'm okay with that. I'll give up having somebody else install my signs, make my flyers, and keep the flyer box full. I can do that. And so that's when I moved over to a different model, like a flat rate model, and got some experience there of how not to run a brokerage, of just poor management and unhappy agents. So that from there, I was like, all right, I think I could do this in a way that would make agents happy.
That makes sense.
And provide the level of services that I want them to have and the support. But our brokerage we are designed for independent people who can run their business. We are not designed for the brand new agents unless you are being brought on by an experienced agent who's going to mentor you.
Right.
Our platform is for agents who know how to run their business and just need some back end support when they need it. And so I felt like there would be that was a good niche to kind of dig into, is can we build something where agents can just have as much support as they need, make more money by paying lower fees so that they can use their money to purchase the things that they want, not me forcing them to say, we're all going to do this. And that's why you're paying so much. Like, if you want to do a different kind of website, go do your website. You want to do Zillow leads, go do Zillow leads. I'm not taking your money. You've got it. Go spend it that way if that's how you want to spend it. And so far, it's been a pretty successful model. Or, as my accountant likes to point out, my agents are doing really well. My agents are making a lot of money. I make, we're still, we're going into our 4th year, so it's time to start turning a bigger profit.
Yeah.
And we'll get there. We're in growth mode, but I love the model that I have set up.
Yeah.
And I like being in that support role.
Yeah, you're really good at that. You've always been a good coach. You were like my second mentor in the industry, and have always taken people under your wing to coach them and mentor them. And I think you really excel at that, and are really good leader for your agents and people that are trying to figure out what they're doing in the profession.
Yeah. So that is my journey into real estate, and we're almost out of time.
Well, then that was perfect.
Yeah. So guess what we're going to talk about next time, everybody? Let's find out what Andy's got going on. All right. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next time on Broker Brains.
Thanks so much for watching this week. Take care of yourself, and if you can, someone else too.